In LA this week.
Art meets exercise at a pop-up exhibit where cheating on your diet is encouraged. I'm Gil Reyes, where life is sweet at Cheat Day Land. I'll have the tasty details next.
The ReelAbilities Film Festival makes its debut in LA. Find out what it does for people with different abilities. Coming up.
I'm Anna Marcos. An international soccer partnership that could give kids in Councilmember Gil Cedillo's district a leg up in sports and education. That's coming up.
Hey everyone, I'm Yana Kay. Here's what's happening in LA this week. A major revitalization effort is underway in Watts, and officials say residents will reap the benefits. Rasha Goel has more on the Jordan Downs neighborhood groundbreaking.
No stopping us now. We're on the move. Come on, Mr. Mayor.
City officials were in the groove as they joined the Watts community to celebrate the grand opening of the East Century Boulevard extension and a groundbreaking of the next phase of the housing at Jordan Downs. It's all part of a redevelopment project of one of the city's largest public housing communities.
No one will be pushed out of their neighborhood here in Watts. They will be given an opportunity, turning keys to a new development, to a new home with added benefits, with green space, and I'm more fired up about that commercial retail.
This project is being led by the Housing Authority of the City of Los Angeles and private sector partners. The Jordan Downs Housing Projects was a 700-unit public housing apartment complex in Watts from the World War II era and will now consist of buildings with townhouse-style units ranging from 1 bedroom to 5 bedrooms, along with new retail spaces, a new community center, and over 9 acres of green space.
And when this project is done, we'll have more than 1,400 units of affordable housing, double the number we have now. Can we end homelessness in this city? Yeah. Can we give everybody a place to live in this city? Yeah. It starts 1 unit and 1 project at a time.
The goal has been to provide residents with much-needed affordable housing.
So many of the people here at Jordan Downs never gave up. They'd heard promises before. We made promises here, and we were determined not to walk away from those promises. We were going to keep those promises.
The extension of Century Boulevard marks one of the first new streets constructed by the city in decades, as it provides residents with better connections to neighboring communities and to each other.
All the apartments will be available to families at or below 60% of the area's median income. Turning now to expanding women's roles in the workplace, as the LADWP hosts a forum aimed at charging up minority and women hires.
A crowd of mostly women gathered at Department of Water and Power headquarters, trying to gain a competitive edge in the city's workforce.
Events like this are a very important way to help assure that small and minority and women-owned businesses have a fair shot in competing for contract opportunities in the city of LA.
Councilwoman Monica Rodriguez hosted one of the forums focused on environmental jobs like solar. And even though the numbers are improving, there's still an overall lack of women in these fields.
There aren't a lot of women technologists. There aren't as many women engineers that I'd like to see. There aren't as many women in the investment funds driving these decisions. And so what can I do, and how much time can I take in my day and my week and my year to go out of my way to try to develop other women and younger people to get into this niche field?
I think the thing that we can most do is be encouraging of other women. For you men out there, okay, I think we really need to make sure that the atmosphere is good for everyone.
The LA Department of Water and Power says it's dedicated to hiring more women through conferences like the one you just saw and recruitment drives on college campuses. Over in North Hollywood, a new film festival is adding to LA's diverse festival scene. The ReelAbilities Festival held its inaugural event here. Its mission to include more people with disabilities in the movie industry. Anna Marcos was there.
The films portray a wide range of people with different abilities, from one-legged skaters and mountain climbers to rodeo riders who suffer severe head injuries, to people who just look different. The ReelAbilities Film Festival is giving all these people a spotlight on the Hollywood stage as it makes its grand debut in LA, a festival by, for, and about disabled people.
These are beautiful, extraordinary films. I don't know what else to say. They're exciting, they're sad, they're fun, there's animation in here, there are features, there are documentaries. It covers everything just like the scope of films that Hollywood makes anyway.
One of the films, The Rider, has won a Cannes Film Festival award. Another, an animated feature about a wheelchair doll that has to fit into a perfect world or get thrown out, is directed by a USC student.
It's all a satire. It is very funny until you get to the end and then you realize that what you've been laughing at is horrible. I wanted to bring about change. I wanted to make people aware of kind of how we're treated as a whole in the world, how we are tossed aside.
The 4-day festival started in New York 10 years ago to bring more awareness of people with disabilities and promote disabled actors and filmmakers. LA's Department on Disability helped bring the festival here, with help from other disabled advocates.
We are part of the community. We make up 20% of the community. Less than 2% of characters in film have disability. And of that 2%, only 5% are actually actors with disability. So it's important to have this representation, and that's what the ReelAbilities Film Festival is about.
In a short period of time, I booked Breaking Bad, and then it just kept snowballing for me, and a lot of doors opened, and that allowed me to open a lot of doors for the people here.
Among the highlights of this film festival weekend will be a film screened with something called audio description, which gives the public an up-close look at how somebody with low vision would experience a movie.
Having that secondary audio track tells them what the movement is that they may be seeing. If they want to close their eyes, they have that experience of what it's like to go to a movie when you are blind or with no vision.
Altogether, close to 24 films, all ready for their Hollywood close-up.
The ReelAbilities Film Festival has spread to cities from Toronto to Mexico City. We've reported on transitional housing to help those experiencing homelessness, but did you know there's a group that focuses on transitional jobs for women in crisis? Here's more on how this group's dedication over the last 40 years has transformed women's lives.
Then we're ready to pour our wax. So this is our wax melter here.
Penny Manning has come a long way. After fleeing domestic violence 6 years ago, she now has a safe home and a job, making scented candles and other wares with other formerly homeless people. It's a program run by the Downtown Women's Center.
I can't speak enough about that because it was a really hard time in my life. I did not know what to do, and they guided me through it. They really, helped me get back on my feet.
Penny Manning and others actually create these items here in this boutique made by DWC. That is a social enterprise platform by the Downtown Women's Center, the only organization in Los Angeles that's dedicated exclusively to serving formerly homeless and homeless women.
We're actually celebrating our 40-year anniversary this year, and our organization's mission is to end women's homelessness through housing, wellness, employment, and advocacy.
The center's Transitional Job program also employs women in their Skid Row cafe.
Anywhere from 6 to 9 months, the women will work with us. They get paid a city's living wage. They work, from 12 to 20 hours a week for that 6 to 9 months, where they're building their skills, both soft skills and technical skills.
The center says through job placement, most of the women coming through go on to permanent employment, including Penny Manning. The single mom is now happy to be a staffer at the boutique, where she helps other women take control of their lives.
I'm giving back, and I'm also letting them know that, hey, I've been where you were, and you can come out of it.
On top of transitional jobs, the Downtown Women's Center also has 119 units of permanent supportive housing for women. Well, it's a diet regimen used by movie stars like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson to stay fit while at the same time satisfying their cravings. And now there's an Instagrammable pop-up gallery that's all about hitting that sweet spot.
A pop-up museum in downtown's Arts District is dedicated to that one day out of the week when fitness freaks can indulge in junk food. Get ready to snap some sweet photos at Cheat Day Land.
So what exactly is a cheat day? Well, among fitness enthusiasts, it's that one day out of the week when you can pretty much eat whatever you want. Cookies, ice cream, donuts, whatever you see here. The philosophy being that if you're allowed to cheat that one day out of the week, then eating healthy for the rest of the week becomes a lot easier.
Adding fun to this diet regimen are yoga instructor Reimagined and her health-conscious siblings. They built this Instagrammable junk food playground.
How did this idea come about, first of all? You can tell our viewers.
Well, I was in Japan and I went to Tokyo. I love the museum that I saw over there. And when I came back here, I told my brothers and sisters, I'm like, guys, we need to do something like that in Los Angeles.
Where it seems everyone's posting fun photos on Instagram. And you know those Colette Miller angel wings all over downtown? Well, Cheat Day Land has its own version for social media posts.
The angel wings are everywhere, so this is where we put ourselves.
Those are angel chicken wings.
Yeah, they're chicken wings. So this is the wings that we have at Cheat Day Land for you guys. I eat cake because it's someone's birthday somewhere, right? There's always someone's birthday, right?
It's a good excuse to eat chocolate.
Yes, and this one, when people get it in the picture, it's like, you look like you're small, so let's get in the frame. Right, and you're like inside the big chocolate cake.
What do they say about America? It's just a big melting pot. Well, this is a big cereal bowl that I'm going to jump into. There's no water here, but we're going to give it a shot. You can't jump in. Or can you? Is it safe enough to jump?
It's for you.
Yeah?
It's for you watching it.
Because I don't know what's underneath there. Nothing. Okay, here we go.
So when we were little, we used to eat alphabet soup, and we used to have like the spoon, and we used to spell out things on the soup. So when we decided to create the museum, we were like, we need like a pool, and we were thinking of different ideas, and we wanted something colorful, but also something you can play around with.
Plenty of playing around for sure. Bring your friends and your camera to Cheat Day Land at 2018 East 7th Street in downtown's colorful Arts District.
Snap your videos and photos while you can. The pop-up gallery is expected to shut down at the end of the month. Get some international soccer groups to team up, and what do you get? More chances for kids to play ball and go to college. Here's more on the newly formed Los Angeles United Football Academy, Espanyol.
More than 300 LA kids learned soccer and with it many life lessons at the Los Angeles United Football Academy, the city's youth soccer academy. But soon the program may get to double the number of kids to 600.
I don't like to be cocky, but I'm really good. Well, it's fun. I feel I'm good at it, and I enjoy it.
The reason for the academy's growth, its new partnership with the Spanish La Liga and the RCD Espanyol of Barcelona, ranked among the best soccer teams in the world.
We are bringing new coaches from Spain. We're going to try to teach all these kids, even the coaches, how we practice, how we train, how we play in Spain. And that's what we're trying to teach here. Not to be a very good physical player, but to be a very intelligent player.
Some of the kids who will reap the rewards from the partnership, those in Councilmember Gil Cedillo and Jose Huizar's districts, as well as other inner-city communities along the 110.
I believe in sports as a vehicle for training future leaders. It teaches young people how to set goals. It teaches young people how to collaborate and how to work together. It teaches young people how to win and how to lose, how to be good sports, how to be resilient.
I just want to be famous too, playing in a stadium, having a lot of fans.
But this isn't just about training kids in sports or promoting soccer. It's also about promoting college educations.
We use soccer as a platform to keep them in school and performing well in school, and then we introduce them to coaches at the college level, and we've had very good success at connecting kids from these neighborhoods to college opportunities.
It could help me get to places that I probably wouldn't get, like maybe I can get a scholarship.
There might be a handful of kids that will make it to the professional level, either here or in Europe, but the remainder of the kids, which are about 99% of them, hopefully will be on a path to college.
The newly named Los Angeles United Football Academy Espanyol has committed to get college scholarships for all its soccer trainees who qualify. The other commitment, of course, to teach the kids to play ball.
And here's another perk for the kids. Many will get to visit Spain and train with professional players from the team there. Meanwhile, Americorps tutors just arrived on campus with plenty of pep reserved for their students as City Year kicks off opening day.
Like soldiers in the battle to boost test scores, these Americorps members are pumped for deployment. They're part of City Year, a tutoring and mentoring program in underserved neighborhoods.
Usually I'm excited, but when I'm on City Year, I'm extra excited.
School Board President Monica Garcia wishing Americorps members good luck. They're off to classrooms across Los Angeles to provide one-on-one instruction. City Year says this intimate style of teaching is proven to boost test scores.
I'm from the Koreatown area, so now I'm lucky enough to be able to serve the students that are there, the students of color. I came from a low-income immigrant community, so I always knew that I wanted to come back, like I said before, to my community to somehow help out, and I think education is the most viable way for me to help.
For Erica Kenny, returning for a second tour is a labor of love.
My favorite part about service is my students. My students are the most incredible group of people I've ever met. They're hilarious, they're resilient. I'm extremely lucky to get to serve in the community that I do.
This tutoring and mentoring program takes place in 28 cities nationwide. Apply for duty today at cityyear.org. Over at Union Station, a new diesel-electric train just rolled in, putting passengers and the city on the right track when it comes to green energy.
Congratulations, Los Angeles. You're now one of the lucky cities that gets to experience one of the most popular locomotives in the marketplace today. And these locomotives are clean. They were the first passenger locomotives to receive the Tier 4 emissions certification, making them 90% cleaner than locomotives running today.
It's going to make service a lot more reliable here in Southern California, and it's also going to make service a bit more fast. And so all the people down here that use this Amtrak Porter, which is the second most popular Amtrak line in all of the United States, are going to benefit from these new locomotives. Well, I really encourage people to try these new locomotives I mentioned on Amtrak, but also on Metrolink. You know, rail is improving so fast in Southern California. If you haven't ridden lately, I'd really encourage people to take a train ride and see how convenient it is.
Do art, revitalization, and economic development go hand in hand? In Reseda, you bet they do. And they all come together at the 3rd annual Reseda Rising Art Walk and Night Market.
Taking pictures and selfies in this lit-up art piece was a thing.
Did you guys want a picture together, by any chance?
So was this live figure drawing art workshop, free to artists at any level. The 3rd annual Reseda Rising Art Walk proved art is definitely in the eye of the beholder.
You guys love art?
Yeah.
You can go to any tent, you can see personalized paintings, you can see chalk, you name it and you'll find it. It's right here.
This 20-year-old is already well on her way to becoming an artist with a capital A. Her art pieces have sold for as much as $500 a pop. So how does one set a price on art?
Do I really like it or do I really not like it? And if I really like it, then I usually price it a little bit higher because it's worth more to me. But if it's not as great to me personally, even if someone else loves it, I'll put it a little bit lower.
But at this art walk, art took on every form imaginable. Breakdance moves? Check. Scalp art? Check. Lowrider car show? Check. Art on jewelry? On easels? On chalkboards? Check, check, and check.
I brought my daughter because she's an artist and I wanted her to see what other artists do and the heart and soul that they put into their work. For myself, just learning about the different cultures and communities and where their different art styles come from is very interesting and will definitely influence my art, I think.
I like the jewelry. I don't know if that's considered art, but I like the jewelry. You know, when they make the jewelry, yeah.
But all this art had an economic development focus as well. It was part of the Reseda Rising initiative, a plan to turn this part of the valley into a thriving economic area.
For example, behind me, where you can't see over there, we're working on getting an ice skating rink put together, a community publicly owned ice skating rink, and then just down the way over there where the old Reseda Theater is, we are putting in we're working with a Lemley, getting a Lemley theater.
But enough about business. For most, this was a day to get out some paints and relax. Or better yet, watch other people do it.
Music, food trucks, and a community pavilion with all kinds of resources for families were also part of the fun. A busy downtown thoroughfare gets a major upgrade. The mayor talks women empowerment and a new playground for kids at Cleveland Park. All these stories in Citybeat. Councilmember Jose Huizar joined LA's Department of Transportation, Bureau of Street Services, and downtown LA residents to celebrate the transformation of Spring Street, a major downtown LA thoroughfare. The upgrade reconfigured Spring Street to create protected bike lanes curbside on the east side of the street, with parking next to traffic flow. This upgrade is phase one of Huizar and LADWP's $2.3 million Main and Spring Forward project. When completed, the project will improve intersections and crossings for pedestrians, upgrade the existing buffered bicycle lanes to protected bicycle lanes, and reduce bus-bicycle conflicts.
So it's incumbent upon us that we think of how do we make better use of our public spaces and get away from prioritizing cars to prioritizing people, bicycles, and other modes of transportation.
Mayor Eric Garcetti and First Lady Amy Elaine Wakeland kicked off the second annual State of the Women and Girls Address and Young Women's Assembly. Women's achievements, challenges, and future opportunities were the focus of the conference. The event brought together civic leaders, hundreds of young girls and women for in-depth conversations, panels, and presentations on the state of gender equality in Los Angeles and what we all need to do to make a change.
We need to look back and say 27 years ago, we stood up for the voices that said Me Too, for the voices that said time's up.
LA's Department of Rec and Parks, along with Councilmember Gil Cedillo, gathered for the grand opening of Cleveland Avenue Bicentennial Park's new playground. This playground project was completed with support and advocacy of community members, the Arroyo Seco Neighborhood Council, and the Skelton Group. This new playground features a host of challenges for children ages 2 to 12 and comes with a shade canopy. Councilwoman Nuys Martinez has teamed up with the Department of Cultural Affairs to unleash a huge dose of art and culture in Van Nuys by kicking off a spectacular light show at the second annual Van Nuys Arts Festival.
Imagine the government buildings at Van Nuys City Hall transforming into a misty forest of light beams and digital rays.
The whole point of this year's theme is this virtual forest and incorporating technology into the art community.
This was the second annual Van Nuys Art Festival. Live projection mappings, virtual artwork, and a 3D dance party were just some of the attractions.
One up this time. Reverse. This is really catered to showcase the talent here in the Valley because, you know, so many times we actually have to go over the hill to go see someone's artwork or to go check out a opening of a gallery.
And not only was artwork of all kinds available, but people of all kinds, big and small, got to turn artists for a night at this graffiti art battle and block party.
Arts and culture and creativity is alive in the San Fernando Valley.
The Discovery Cube Museum's Animal Tracks Footprint Workshop left the kids smiling. And for those with an appetite for more traditional fare, the beer garden offered hearty ale and hearty entertainment. All of this artsy stuff gave art lovers something to dance about, including Councilmember Nuys Martinez. Organizers expected the festival to attract about 3,000 people.
The Van Nuys Arts Festival was free. Celebrate Dia de los Muertos over at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Bring the family out to a Halloween festival at MacArthur Park or embark on a haunted hayride. All this in this week's Things to Do. The 19th annual Dia de los Muertos honors the Aztec goddess Coatlicue, who gave birth to the moon, stars, and the god of the sun and war. Her most famous monumental representation was at the Temple Mayor in Mexico City. After the Spanish conquest, the temple was destroyed and her statue was buried because it was considered an inappropriate pagan idol by Spanish invaders. After languishing in obscurity for more than 200 years, she was rediscovered in 1790. This event is part of LA's Department of Cultural Affairs Latino Heritage Month, a citywide commemoration of Latino history, heritage, and tradition in Los Angeles. It takes place at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery on October 27th at 12 p.m. The City of LA's Department of Rec and Parks, Councilman Gil Cedillo and Westlake South Neighborhood Council invite you to Halloween Festival at MacArthur Park. There'll be lots of fun events, including a costume contest, face painting, haunted house, arts and crafts, trick-or-treating, and a special screening of the movie Hotel Transylvania 2. All the family fun takes place Saturday, October 27th from 5 to 9 p.m. at MacArthur Park, located at 2230 West 6th Street. For thrill seekers, check out the Los Angeles Haunted Hayride. The famed Griffith Park attraction takes folks on a hayride through the old zoo, where they'll face the underworld and portrayals of the 7 deadly sins. Are you ready to experience the thrill of the ride? The adventure and rides go until October 31st at the Old LA Zoo, located at 4730 Crystal Springs Avenue in Griffith Park. For more, visit LosAngelesHauntedHayride.com. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kay. From all of us here at LA This Week, thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitybeat.org and check out our newest social media videos, LA This Minute. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.